Hi everybody, this is Mike Tallon, and this is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to be making to support my book, Incompatible with Life, a memoir of grave illness, great love, and survival. What I'd like to do with these videos is to dive in a little bit to the genetic condition that is at the heart of the book, the disease that made me, for quite a while, what the doctors considered to be incompatible with life. That disease, genetic condition, is called hereditary hemochromatosis. It is an iron processing disorder that is sort of the opposite of anemia. It is a condition that prevents those of us who have hemochromatosis. I like to call us hemochromatites. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but it works for me. But it prevents us from eliminating dietary iron. Uh, Almost everyone in the world, and almost all adults who aren't hemochromatites, have between 2 and 4 grams of iron in their body at any given time. It's mostly dispersed in the hemoglobin, in the red blood cells. Iron is, in fact, the central architectural point, the keystone, if you will, of a red blood cell. And I will go into how that all works in a subsequent video. It's really fascinating. And for most people, they also have a little bit of iron in their spleens and in their bone marrow for the production of new red blood cells, which you have to constantly make throughout your life because they have about a 120-day life cycle, and they live, they do their work, they die, and more are made. And the body just eliminates the rest in the waste. But with those of us with hemochromatosis, that iron gets trapped inside the body. This is all due, fascinatingly, because of a small mutation, one amino acid on the 282nd, it's the 282nd amino acid on the HFE gene, which is located on the 6th chromosome, or something like that. And this one little thing, which is, in my case, and in most cases, a mutation that occurred first in a Neanderthal ancestor 40,000 years ago, prevents us from getting rid of the iron that we consume. And so when I was rushed to the hospital, rather than having between 2 and 4 grams of iron in my system, I had about a kilogram. And that iron gets lodged in various organs and parts of the body. It's almost like your body, not knowing what to do with the iron, just sweeps it under the rug for decades. It sweeps it into the joints, which can lead to the development of arthritis. It sweeps it into the spleen, which can lead to an enlarged spleen. It sweeps it into the pancreas, which can give you diabetes, which I have. It sweeps it into the liver, which can eventually cause cirrhosis, which I have. And it sweeps it into the heart, which can lead to heart failure, which I have had. And it also can get swept into the glandular system, leading to some other conditions, which aren't that fun, and I'll talk about in a subsequent video. But that's the basics of the disease. It is that those of us who have hemochromatosis, we live our lives like normal people, eating what we eat, never knowing that all the while these little tiny atoms, trillions and trillions and trillions of atoms of iron, are becoming lodged in our bodies. And it's such a slow process that it often goes undetected until, like me, you are rushed to the hospital in grave condition, or, sadly, it is one of the most common genetic conditions that is diagnosed at autopsy. And it's also fairly important because hemochromatosis, for people of Northern European descent, is the most common autosomal genetic disorder, affecting between 1 and 300 people in that population. With people of Irish heritage, it's 1 in 80, and that's not to be a carrier of the disease. That's to have autosomal, to have both alleles of the gene coming from both lines of your parentage. 1 in 5 Irish people have at least one copy of the gene. And so it's a very prevalent disease. It is very, very dangerous. And also, it can be very easily treated through, if it's detected early, through basically donating blood, the process of phlebotomy, which I'll also talk about in a subsequent video. But that's the basics of it. Iron processing disorder, genetically caused, leads to a superabundance of iron in the system, and if untreated and if undiscovered, it can cause people to either die or to become so close to death that they are declared incompatible with life, and then they get to write books about it, as I have done. Please visit my website and read the introduction to this great book. The website is michaeljtallon.com, and I'll be back with another one of these videos very, very soon. Thank you.